Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to Fun in the Kitchen with April. So, I decided today that I would show you another recipe with the Instant Pot. Because with the Instant Pot, your meals can be quick and easy, you know. So, before we go on to what we're going to cook today, let me say this. I am so excited to welcome all my new subscribers, and I thank you for watching, and I hope you're enjoying the great content that I am putting out for you. And to all my day ones, the ones who have been here from the very beginning, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, and I'm trying to keep it coming for you. As I keep saying, I'm trying to keep up with you guys, okay? But you have been so supportive, and I just want to continue to give you good content, great recipes, because this is something that I enjoy doing for you all. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna get into today's recipe. We're gonna do short ribs beef, okay? And like I said, we're gonna do it in the Instant Pot, okay? So I have already cleaned my my short beef ribs already. I have, so we have that there. I am gonna use some chicken stock, a little olive oil, salt and pepper. I'm gonna do some Creole seasoning on these short ribs. I think that'll be good on there. Some onion powder, garlic powder. I was gonna cut up an onion, but I forgot to pick up some onions. So, you know, we gonna use what we have. That's okay. Like I always say, it's okay. We can improvise, right? I'm also gonna do some minced garlic cloves. So that's about maybe 2-3 cloves here. Okay, and I have a tablespoon of butter. Now this is real unsalted butter. It's not I can't believe it's not butter or anything like that. This is real unsalted butter. And I'm using that because, and the olive oil, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of braise our short ribs first, okay? And yes, you can do that in your Instant Pot. You know something? It took me a minute to figure out how to use this Instant Pot. So now that I got it down, I think I can do some things in it. So we're gonna try it and see how it comes out. And I'm also going to make cabbage. And I'm gonna kind of like, excuse me guys, I'm hot. So I'm gonna kind of steam the cabbage for you guys. So I have my cabbage over here, and we'll get to that because I gotta clean that and cut that, and I'll show you how we're gonna do our cabbage, okay? I don't know, I may show you how I do my rice. It's nothing spectacular, so I'll probably show you how I'm gonna do my rice as well. Okay, so you're getting like a full meal, and then I'm not even gonna front. I'm gonna make some plain old Jiffy cornbread today. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I don't need to show you guys how to do that because I'm sure you can buy the Jiffy mix yourself and you can make your own cornbread. But however, I will show you everything else. So we're gonna start with our short rib, okay? So like I said, I have cleaned the short rib and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust this, the camera a little bit for you, so give me a second. Okay, I am back. So I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do first. So on your Instant Pot, if you have an Instant Pot, let me see if I can get it there for you. There are all these little different buttons on here for different things, okay? So we are going to use the pressure cook, but before we use our pressure cook, what we're going to do is we are going to do the saute, okay? So I'm going to press saute, and I want to get this started, and I don't even think I'm going to saute for 15 minutes. So I'm going to bring the timer down because it still does a timer for sauteing. So I'll probably do like a 5-minute saute just to brown up our short rib. So I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons of olive oil in the pan here. Well, in the pot, that's the inner pot here, okay? And then I am going to add in our butter. There we go. Okay. And I'm gonna let it, see, it just turned on. That beep told me that it just turned on, okay? And what I'm going to do while I'm waiting on it to heat up a minute, I am going to start putting in, I use my tongs because I just washed my hands again after doing everything with this meat, and I don't feel like getting them dirty again. Okay, so I'm gonna put these short ribs in here. I know, well, I was cleaning them, and some of them are like kind of coming off the bone. Okay. There we go. And I'm also going to put my seasoning in here too, because remember I told you I have all my seasonings. So while that's going on, I am going to season this meat in there as well, okay? While we are braising our short ribs. Just kind of browning them up a little bit. Maybe I should have did, I'm gonna have to touch this one, and then I'm gonna have to wash my hands again, because now I just got short rib juice all over the place. Okay, give me a second, guys. Let me clean my hands. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you hear it's already like kind of sizzling a little bit because it's hot. So I'm gonna put my my seasonings in here all at once. And you gotta kind of be careful with how much you use of this Creole seasoning because it's pretty salty. So you're gonna be careful with that. Even though I have a good amount of meat in here, I'm still kind of, you know, cautious with how much of that I put in there because it does have a lot of salt, okay? So now we are going to put in our onion powder. Now, onion powder, it doesn't matter how much you put in there because it has no salt in it. So you could just go crazy with that. And the same thing with the garlic powder. It's not going to overpower anything. And I'm also going to add in my garlic cloves, okay? That's for that fresh garlic appeal. So here we go. And we're just gonna let this brown up a little bit, and my spatula probably isn't the best thing I should be using. Let me change spoons here. Okay, so I want to make sure I have everything nicely seasoned up together in here. Okay. Now, let me explain something. You could, once you have everything all browned up and everything a little bit, you could deglaze your inner pot here with some red wine. However, I'm not going to use my wine for this today because I would rather drink my wine. I mean, I know it's going to give it good flavor regardless, but I'm just going to deglaze my pan with a little chicken stock. Now, normally, if I'm cooking something with beef, I am just going to use my my chicken stock to deglaze my pan here. Now, if you heard it beeped because my 5 minutes of browning is done. Okay, So what I'm going to do is take this meat out, put it in another, on another clean plate, and then deglaze my pan. Okay, so give me a minute, let me get a plate. Okay, so now that I have all of my meat, I put it in a bucket. So what I'm going to do is take this, and see my pot here, my inner pot is still hot. So I'm going to take this and I'll put a half a cup of liquid in here, okay? You don't need much, okay? And I'm just going to move that, get all that good seasoning that's in there out from off the bottom of the pot, even though it's not really stuck there. So when I'm doing that, that is actually deglazing the pot, because sometimes the seasonings that you put on your meat, you know, when you're sauteing, it sticks to the bottom. So you want to use a liquid to deglaze. And a lot of times you do use a red wine or white wine, you know, most of the time a red wine, but I'm using my chicken stock to do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm using my chicken stock to do that, so that we have good seasoning in this chicken stock. And again, you don't need much liquid, because as you know, this beef is going to create a lot of extra juices. So once it's done, we'll take the short ribs out, put them in another plate, and I can create a gravy with the juices that are combined from the short rib and the chicken broth that I just did here, okay? So that's what we're gonna do after. We're gonna create a delicious, delicious gravy for that, for this short rib. It's gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be great. And I hope everyone has had a great last weekend, a great Labor Day weekend. I hope, you know, you enjoyed. Mine was quiet. And so I said, you know what? I have been missing y'all. So I came home from work, got these short ribs together, and I said, I am going to cook some short ribs for you all today. Short ribs and cabbage and some rice and some cornbread. So that's what we're gonna do today. And you know, you can cook along with me if you feel like, you know, I always have the recipes in the description box below. But I know if you're visual like me, you could just cook right along with me, you know? So, there we go. And I also hope you guys have checked out my salon chat. We have had some really great conversations in salon chat. So I hope you've checked that out as well. And that you get to see another side of me. You get to see me with my clients. And I so enjoy my clients. And I just, you know, like to have some time to spend with them one-on-one, and we have some great things coming up with that as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I am going to press pressure cook, and this is going to cook for 45 minutes. That's all you need. That's the great thing about the Instant Pot. Like I said before, it does not take long at all to cook, okay? And you can leave it in here too. It's not going to do anything, because what we're going to do once it's ready, I'm actually going to let it vent. And also remember, when you have your Instant Pot, make sure that you turn the vent over so that no steam gets out, okay? And then you're not going, with this recipe here, some recipes you can release the steam on your own, but with this one here, we're going to let it naturally vent for about 15 minutes. And when it's naturally venting, once it has stopped cooking, it'll show you, it'll start to count down. So we'll do that. We'll let it naturally vent for 15 minutes before we even touch this, okay? So that's it for that. We got that closed up, started, and I'm gonna prepare this cabbage and we'll move on to the cabbage in a minute. Okay, so I am back and I am getting ready to start with my rice. And I decided to go ahead, instead of making white rice like I normally make white rice and season it, I decided to go ahead and do yellow rice. So I have in here 2 1/4 cup of water. I just put a tablespoon of butter in there, and then I'm gonna hold on a minute, sorry. Hold on. I am going to get a cup full of rice and put that in there once the water comes to a boil. Okay, so we're gonna wait on that to come to a boil and we'll put our yellow rice. And this is the yellow rice that I use, okay? So with yellow rice, I don't need to do any seasoning with it. It's already seasoned and that's it. Okay, so now here I have already cleaned my cabbage, okay? And I shredded it and everything, okay? So what I'm going to do here, and because I am kind of going to steam it, I am not putting a lot of liquid. Also, cabbage likes to hold on to liquid, especially since I just washed it, okay? So I'm going to put probably a 1/4 cup of chicken broth in here. And I like to use chicken broth for my, anytime I do any type of green vegetables or whatever, I like to use chicken broth, especially if I don't have any smoked turkey. So, which I don't, I use the last of my smoked turkey tails. So I'm gonna put, so I just put in the, the chicken stock in there. So what I'm doing now is I'm using some chicken flavor bouillon. I put a little bit of that in there as well because that's going to enhance that flavor. Okay. And next, I am going to use this complete seasoning. You've seen me with it before. And this has the onion, the garlic, parsley, all kinds of things in here. Just everything you can think of. That's why it's called complete. So I'm putting some of that in here because that's going to serve as some of our seasoning. Yep. I like to put all of that in here. And I am going to turn this on as well. So this is going to serve as our seasoning because I want it to be seasoned really, really well. And I'm going to add some pepper. Okay, and like I said, because I am steaming this, now this pepper will probably make me sneeze. Like I kept sneezing when I was making the short rib because I added that pepper. But anyway, like I said, I didn't add a lot of liquid, simple fat. I'm just kind of mixing those seasonings in there simply because the cabbage, I wanted it to steam more so than do like a boil of cabbage, okay? So now I'm going to put my cabbage in here. Uh-oh. And my stove is clean. Everything I do is clean. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I have my cabbage in here. Now, yes, I season the broth and everything, and that's going to get on the cabbage as well. But I am, and see, as I mix it up in here, it is getting on the cabbage. But I am going to, I think I may need a little bit, just a little bit more liquid in here. Yeah. I know y'all seen that cabbage drop on my stove, but like I said, my stove is clean. I just cleaned it. I think I'm gonna just put a little bit more liquid in here. There we go. Yep. And I am going to add a little bit more of this complete seasoning in here on top of this cabbage. And once everything is completely cooked, and cabbage does not take long to cook at all. So I'm just really going to let this cook down a little bit. I don't want my cabbage mushy, so I want it to be nice and crunchy still. Okay, so that is that for the cabbage. All right, and so now I am going to do my rice because the water is boiling. Okay, hold on. I'm washing my spoon off. Okay, so my water is boiling and I am going to put my rice in there and just give that a stir around. And I'm going to put my top on that, and we are going to let this rice cook for 20 minutes. And also now I am turning down my heat to low. Okay, so we're just gonna let everything cook here, and when we come back you will see the finished product. And I will also have cornbread. Like I said, I don't need to show you how to do the cornbread because it's jiffy. I'm not doing it from scratch. And we have about 16 minutes left on the Instant Pot. But again, like I said, I need to let it sit another 15 minutes to let it naturally vent before we open up the Instant Pot. Okay, so I'll be back. I hope you guys are enjoying this meal I am trying to hook up here for you. Because let me tell you something. It certainly smells delicious in here. Like, I cannot wait to eat because this smells so good. And I really can't wait for you guys to make this. Okay, so I will see you in a minute. Okay, so our cabbage is cooking up quite nicely. And see, again, I'm just steaming it. So it's not flimsy or anything. And you see all the seasoning is in there nice. And it's barely, hardly any liquid. And that's what I want. So it's cooking nicely. And it still has a bit of crunch to it, but I think it needs, because I need to cook it a little bit more, it's still a little, just slightly more, not much more, because it's still a little too raw. So I'm just splashing liquid, but I'm just mixing it around so that everything gets all of our good seasonings on here, so that this is nice and delicious. But this is what we're looking like. Okay, so I'm gonna cover this back up. I just wanted to give you an update on what our cabbage is looking like, and I'm telling you, it smells delicious. Our let me see, let me move you over here. Our short ribs are now they're done, and what's happening is we are letting it naturally vent out on its own for 15 minutes. So it's been venting now for 3 minutes, and once it's up to the 15-minute vent, then I'll open it up and I'll create the gravy. Okay, so we'll come back to that as well. All right, everyone, this is our short rib, and guess what? This Instant Pot always makes your meat so nice and tender that if you can see, my meat has fallen off the bone. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the gravy that I'm going to make. Now you can also do your short ribs with a nice barbecue sauce and kind of braise it with the barbecue sauce, but I'm going to make a gravy, and I think that'll be great. And I did taste a piece of the meat. It tastes great. Okay, so we'll put this to the side, and Now, I do know how to make gravy from scratch, but I am taking a shortcut, okay? So, I am going to pour some of this, and what I'm using is Tony Chachere's gravy mix. It's just easier that way. And I'm just gonna pour that in there. And keep stirring, because if you don't keep stirring, it's gonna lump up. Okay? And that's all you're gonna do. And this is gonna get nice and thick really quick, because your liquid and everything in there, and then it's gonna pick up all those nice seasonings that we had for our short rib in here as well. But if you don't keep stirring, it's gonna lump up, and you don't want lumpy gravy. No one wants lumpy gravy. Yeah, so that's what we're doing, and it's starting to thicken up really nice. Yep, and I can't wait for you guys to try this meal, and you tell me how you liked it. If you have an Instant Pot, you know, by all means use the Instant Pot. This can also be done in a crock pot, or if you don't have either, put it in the oven. Now, if you put it in the oven, of course, it's going to take longer to cook, just like with the crock pot. You set it for a certain time. So if you put it in the oven, it'll just take a little longer to cook. That's all. But it'll be great. It'll be great. And my cabbage and my rice is ready. I'm just waiting on my cornbread to get done. And then I'll plate it up for you guys to see. Okay? And you'll see how nice my gravy came out. Yep. So I'll be back with you in a minute. All right, beautiful people. And this is our short rib of beef with our steamed cabbage, cornbread, and yellow rice. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I so enjoyed making this meal for you guys, and I hope that you like it when you make it. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and also press the notification bell so you know the next time I have a great recipe coming for you. Bye.